Hello there, my name is Aggie Vaughn, and I'm your host of West Queen West Unveiled. And my guest today was going to be Doc of Doc's Motorcycle Gear. And when I visited the store, it was so interesting, so full of curiosities, that we decided to go on location and actually go to Doc's store and give all of our viewers a wonderful view of what Doc's store is all about. So grab your coat, come with me, and let's go visit Doc of Doc's Motorcycle Gear. So let's meet Doc, my guest and the visionary behind Doc's Motorcycle Gear. He's a doctor of clinical psychology by profession. His store, it defies convention, just like Doc. Welcome to the podcast, Doc. How are you?
What did you say it was?
You defy convention.
Defy convention. All right. I'll take that.
You've been a fixture around here for what, more than 30 years or so?
Just because you're old and you don't die, we shouldn't, kowtow to those people or hold them up to any great standard.
But you know what? Your store is a wonderland of treasures. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, if I had to describe every single thing in here, it would take me a week.
Me too.
What inspires you to curate such a diverse collection? And how do they fit into your vision of your store, Doc's Motorcycle Gear?
That's a terrific question. Money. I got into this to make money.
Yeah.
I had a couple of degrees. I was building up a private practice. But while I was going to university, I was buying motorcycles and selling them. You buy one, sell it, buy two, sell those two, buy four. Some guys were going to jail, needed money, and very often they'd sell me what they had.
Oh, so you ended up with a bike.
Or I'd make, some private loans to help them out.
But you ride yourself, don't you?
Of course.
What do you ride?
I've ridden every bike there is. Right now, I've got a 1993 Heritage Classic Softail.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's
I guess it's a pretty
just
fancy
a bike. Listen, nobody's... you don't have to have a Harley to be a biker. Honda's made some of the best bikes out there. Oh, for sure. Paying my way through university, and I needed money. So I started buying the bikes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the seller would throw in a helmet or a jacket. And I was always looking for places where I could buy used jackets, pants, boots, saddlebags, helmets. If you ask, how people get into businesses, very often it's because you like it, you want it, you're looking for a product for yourself.
Yeah.
And the bikers are very loyal customers from all the motorcycle clubs across Toronto. Reliable and conscientious and respectful. A little bit redneck, some of them. Some of them rough around the edges. So I started pretty much in the used product business.
Well, my goodness, you have certainly accumulated quite a collection here.
But to pay my way through school and the early days of counseling and my desire to travel, I've been to 91 countries.
Oh, my goodness.
And so I bring back stuff I liked, or stuff I could sell to the Royal Ontario Museum on Bloor Street, or collectors. There were collectors of bones, collectors of skulls, collectors of
You get everything here.
fossils. So I bring back stuff I liked. Gave me a chance to see the world. And some of it is still here.
What was your favorite country?
You know what?
All of them.
Not all of them, trust me. I had to carry a gun in Malawi, and I had to shoot at a guy in the ground. I shot him at near his foot because he was trying to rob me with a knife.
Are you kidding?
You know, I remember a country by the people. I was in a bomb blast in Argentina, Buenos Aires, on my first day there. So the kind people I met at the hospital who were looking after my blown away jaw, 1989, I remember the people. You know, once you've seen 20 Buddhist temples, you've seen them all.
West Queen West, where your store is located, it's 592?
562.
562.
No, 726.
Oh, 726
This is what
West Queen
happens
West?
when you're pushing 70. I was in Cabbagetown on Parliament Street at 562. But I've been here for 30 years at 726.
Oh, wow. You're doing pretty well.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah. But you know, I'm sure you'll agree that West Queen West has completely transformed to what it was when you first came here, is it not?
A lot of hookers when I came here, lots of prostitutes working the street, a lot of used appliance shops putting their shit out on the sidewalks, a lot of alcoholics and fall down drunks, a lot of nice mom and pop, Hungarian, Czechoslovakian, European bakeries, restaurants. Many that were immigrants and refugees after World War II settled in this area. And they were a great mainstay of at least this section of West Queen West. We miss them.
So you built your business during that time, and I know that your store remains a beloved institution. But what has been the key to you staying relevant and thriving in such a changing neighborhood?
When I sit and talk to young people, I think I'm very irrelevant. Who wants the opinions and the perceptions and the music of someone 50 years older than who you are? You know, when we were kids in the 60s and 70s, we thought anybody over 30. What was the saying? Don't trust anybody under 30. Over 30. Now I say don't trust anybody under 30. Relevant. Am I relevant? I'll tell you something. In the early days, you know, the bikers. They wanted a good price, a decent product, often used. When I was in Cabbagetown, I had more of a varied crowd that was into leather. So whether we made a leather belt, and we're experts at making leather belts, or something else from the unique margins of society.
I can imagine.
You know, we could make and fix. You know, we're not fine tailors here, but we're good at fixing stuff. And making, you know, harnesses for horses or for whatever. But we're good at providing a product. We're reliable, we're conscientious. And we've changed with the times. As this area has become a little more fashion-oriented, I've had to bring in product for women, shoes for women, jackets, pants, vests, chaps, boots, things that women want. The days of just providing to, you know, big, fat, ugly bikers, you know, has changed.
I know I saw a fabulous red dress down there that I fell in love with. It's fantastic. Really, leather. Beautiful dress. You know, so you got some pretty nifty stuff. How did the store weather through the pandemic, Doc? I'm wondering if you found any new opportunities during that time. Did you?
Well, some people told me to take inventory. But who knows? Can't do it, and I don't give a fuck. But I had time on my hands to do stuff, and I decided to break the law and open my store every fucking day.
Good for you.
Walmart was selling jackets, pants, pots and pans, shirts, clothing. So why shouldn't I? I opened my store. I left the house every day. There was no business down here. I turned on fun music on the sidewalk. The stores were boarded up.
Oh my God.
Homeless people were terrorizing the homeowners and taking over the street. I just decided the street needed some life. I opened the fucking store against the law. After 2 years, City of Toronto Public Health came in and said, very politely, what the fuck are you doing? And I said, oh, well, I sell safety equipment, Department of Transportation, helmets, certified, CSA approved boots. I said, bikers need to be protected. Jackets, pants, leather, gloves. He said, I'll take that back to the legal department at City Hall. The legal department said, okay, but you can't sell your skulls, your bones, your buckles, your crazy shit. Plus, I had to sign one person in at a time, blah, 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 blah. But I broke the law. Sometimes you have to engage in some civil disobedience.
Absolutely, I agree there.
I'm a firm believer in civil disobedience. You got to do what you got. And what we said in the 60s is what's right for one has to be right for all.
Absolutely.
And if Walmart and the clothing shops were allowed to be open just because they sold bananas and tin soup, I wasn't going to be denied my opportunity to make a living.
Absolutely, I agree with that. But you know what? People describe your store as a museum of curiosities. How about sharing some stories about a unique item that you may have, or something that was unexpected? I'm sure you have a lot. But let's talk about one that you always remember. It's imprinted in your mind.
I have a very unimpressive quartz crystal, about this big. It's somewhere in here. It's probably 20 million years old. And inside it is a little drop, or four little drops, maybe, of water that have been covered over by the silicon dioxide, the SiO2, that makes up quartz crystal. So as you turn it, you can see this 20 million year old water floating back and forth. The fact that something alive, basically, biologically alive from 20 million years ago,
That's fascinating.
puts me in perspective of how fleeting life is, and how terrific life is, and how limited, how finite life really is.
That's extraordinary. Where did you find it?
I picked it up in Brazil, up in Salvador de Bahia. It was so hot. It was like 42 degrees centigrade. I wanted to kill myself. Get out of there.
You provide replica guns for the entertainment industry, the film industry, don't you? And that's a fascinating niche to have with those guns. I'm sure you have a memorable story about working with the entertainment industry and those guns. I mean, this store is full of curiosities, and I'm sure there must be millions of stories on each item that's in there.
Well, the guns are, I've been selling them for 40 years.
Have you?
But this idiot Trudeau, who has to go, has made it illegal for me to import them from the factory in Spain. They're not operational. They are home decor. I've been selling them for 40 years to museums, TV shows, movies, TV commercials, collectors. You know, they're beautiful works of art, but they can't shoot. So it's legal for me to sell them, but because they're not politically correct, it makes people cry to see a handgun. And it's not the TV shows or the guys like me who are engaged in competitive shooting, pistol shooting, that are causing the crime with handguns. However, if we get Trudeau out of politics and get Pierre Poilievre in, maybe I'll be able to bring them back in. But right now, the government's limiting my ability to make a living.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Fuck them. I've had it.
It's ridiculous, you know. It's always this, something else. It's a new law you have to abide by, blah, blah,
In terms
blah.
of the entertainment business, we've had every major movie star doing the biggest hits, and the directors, and the prop people. We got a lot of actors that come in here from the biggest shows in Hollywood because they film. A lot of TV shows in Toronto and north of Toronto. So I'm not much of a name dropper. Just suffice it to say, the Hollywood people like my store.
Well, your store is absolutely unique. I mean, my head buzzes because that's where we're recording from today. And all the different things that are in here. Taxidermy things, there's antlers. I'm looking at all kinds of skulls, and I'm even looking at, what do you call them, those, the vending machines. All of that is absolutely sensational. I've never seen the likes of it in my life. I'm sure the customers must love it. Now, here's another question I'm going to ask you. You've got a background in clinical psychology. Does your understanding of human nature play a role in your interaction with your customers?
Of course.
Not because
I have a doctorate in psychology, but I've been to a few countries. I've been to a few businesses. I know what I remember. Was it Maya Angelou or one of those people that said, people remember not what you tell them, but how you make them feel?
Yes.
By using psychology of some description to make people feel something, well, maybe. There's lights, there's display, there's props, there's conversation, all the things that go into a good performance. I'm not saying I'm trying to fake people up. We try to make it a family atmosphere here. Kind, even to the mentally ill and homeless that wander into the store. We're always kind and respectful. Being kind, especially with kids, I have second generation coming in now. There's a kid's ride at the back there. Kids' motorcycle, they sit on, it goes up and down. There are kids now in their 30s coming in with their kids, and those kids in their 30s were riding that little supermarket kids game.
Your store is fascinating. It really is.
First of all, I have great staff. Rick's been with me 31 years.
Really?
Yeah. Look, you asked me what people, what I remember of previous trips or favorite country. People remember, again, the feeling, the person, the atmosphere.
Yes, they do.
We try to have some lights here and some music going and some product and some friendliness. What else can you do? But it's a tough business. To be a mom and pop shop, a non-corporate entity.
I'd hardly call your shop a mom and pop shop.
Listen, we're small business. And if you're a small business person, whether it's bigger or smaller, you have to have backbone and courage and a willingness to work 7 days a week and not make any money for the first 2, 3, 4 years, not take home any money. You pay your property taxes, you pay your insurance and heat and hydro and utilities, your workman's comp, your CPP, the employees' benefits, the employees' salaries. You got to get those things done. For every day a small business is in business, he or she has half a dozen fires they have to put out.
Oh, I'm sure.
And if they don't do all of them, they carry over another half a dozen the following day.
Yeah.
You have to have balls of steel to be a business
I
person,
agree with you.
self-employed.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You're the first one to get there in the morning, you're the last one to
Leave at night.
and you're the last one to get paid.
Oh, I know that feeling. I know it well. But you know what? West Queen West is known for its artistic and vibrant community. And I was told that it was voted as the coolest and creative on the planet.
I think we won the second coolest. We got beat out by a street in Tokyo.
Oh, no.
So according to Vogue
Tokyo.
magazine, we were at one time the second coolest. Whatever, hippest, I don't know.
You mean you were the second coolest,
Yeah.
not the first?
Whatever.
Well, being a part of this community, how has it influenced your direction and character of your store? I mean, I look around here and I see so many different things, and this is only part of it. All the things you have in here, I'm saying to myself, where on earth did he find this stuff?
Well, I've been to 91 countries. I've been in a lot of jungles. I've been to a lot of mines.
Oh, wow.
We used to go on horseback or jeep.
Oh, really?
And we used to have to carry revolvers with us. We weren't carrying credit cards. When you go to a mine in the very north of the Amazon, you carry US dollars or gold. And people knew. You had to carry a revolver.
So you had to fight off the banditos?
Well, not in Brazil. The creativity?
Yeah.
I don't know. Creativity. A lot of people open very creative shops, creative sandwich shops, you know?
Yeah.
And they last 3 months or 6 months. Or they're going to be the new marijuana shop with the best lighting and best sound system. I don't know. You never know what's going to work. I know if you look around, what lasts? Drugstores, shoe cobblers, dry cleaners, alterationists. You know, there are certain things that last. But if you're going to be creative, you better be prepared to go hungry for a while.
I think you're right. And especially now, because we've just got over a pandemic that's lasted for a long time.
I've had to bring in more fashion stuff for the women. 30 years ago, you had a lot of punk rockers here.
Ah.
A lot of drug-addicted, very colorful, boisterous, a lot of them from Quebec that would come in every year. So you had to have a certain fashion for them and a certain price point for them because basically they had no money. So as things change, we don't have the punk rockers and the punk rock places they used to hang out. We got fancier restaurants. I'm all for improvement. Renovation and restoration, the Cabbage Town. What's the term? Gentrification is not a bad word. When my European family came here in 1910, you know, Toronto was a shithole. My grandmother was was from Poland, where they had cement sidewalks. She was aghast that we had these muddy fucking sidewalks down in Toronto. They thought the streets were paved with gold. They got here and thought,
Change their minds.
Luckily, they never went back. However, things change gradually. Sometimes they don't change at all. This was a very creative area, shall we say, with the artsy crowd. The painters, the sculptors, the people that lived above the stores. People opened fashion galleries. They opened painting galleries. Same thing with Queen East and the beaches. They were creative spots. However, as they become more expensive and the rates and the rents go up, the creative people move further west, further east. Creative people don't make money.
Yeah, that's true.
And so we get, if we had a reputation for being a little bit bohemian in this area, I think some of that shiners off the proverbial star. But the way the property taxes work, we're less bohemian. We got to be more fashion-oriented to keep people coming back.
Yeah.
We got more condominiums downtown Toronto.
That's true.
More people paying $500,000 for 400 square feet. And I'm not saying that's bad, because that crowd of people will pay $500 for a leather jacket.
Yeah.
My rough and tumble bikers, just coming out of jail, want to find it. They've been away for 5 years. They come and see a leather jacket, ain't $100 anymore.
Yeah.
You have to go with the times. You have to have a product that people want. You have to work your ass off. And part of the problem is the cost of property tax created by the provincial government is horrific. I got a 2.5, 3-story, 18-foot wide little place here on Queen Street. However, because it's zoned as a 6-story, that it could be a 6-story condo, potentially, according to the zoning, I am charged as if I were a 6-story condo. It's called best and highest. It's a provincial term, best and highest.
What do you do about that, Doc?
Well, we talk to part of our Business Improvement Area Association. We have some very good people like Dianca, who works hard on trying to hold our politicians accountable. It's a provincial issue. We talk to our MPP, we try to organize, we write letters, but basically we're ignored.
Yeah.
If you owned a house on a side street around here, you're priced on being a 1,200 square foot home. Why would you settle for being told we're going to price your home as if it was a 4,000 square foot home? Because it could be a 4,000. So the days of small mom and pop businesses are basically over. Yeah. When I'm gone, the next generation along Queen West, you're going to see just Shoppers Drug Marts and Longo's, and these are all good places. But fast food joints, the small businessman will be gone because the property tax that the city gets, the province gets, is out of whack with reality.
Yeah, it certainly is after what you just told me.
Yeah.
But you know what?
We got to keep up the fight. It's all about keeping up the fight.
Yeah, I agree, and that's very important because, people want to create something unique like you have with this particular store, your motorcycle store. What advice would you give to...
I'd say shoot yourself in the head. Forget it.
Even if they don't have a gun?
Even if they don't have a gun. Jump out a window. Forget about being self-employed. I have grandchildren, I have nephews, I have nieces. If they want an easy life or a comfortable life, get a job with the province or the city of Toronto. Make $35 an hour pushing a broom. You have no headaches, no problems, no fires that you have to put out every day. You pay the price of being creative. You either have it or you don't have it.
Yes, you do. But you know what? I'm going to ask you this. What's your secret to your success? And what advice would you give to others to help them succeed, as you have?
Well, you got to find something you like doing. That's a hackneyed kind of statement, but you really do. If you love making muffins or selling cupcakes or,
you just got to love
helmets,
it, right?
We got to like it enough that when all the daily fires and the indignities from the government and the hassles from the street and the neighborhood and the bylaws and sometimes hassles from your customers, that you like it enough. I mean, it's, everybody says you love something and you do that and you make a living doing it. It's like you never really work. And well, that's kind of true. I love coming here. I like coming. So I would tell people, do what you like, and then you don't really mind too much that you might be short on your rent or your groceries.
Yeah. But you know what, Doc?
But be persistent. That's the whole trick.
Yeah,
Show up
persistence.
every fucking day.
Right?
That's why I showed up during COVID.
Yeah.
That's why I'm open 7 days a week.
Oh, are you 7 days a week?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
just since I became a senior citizen, pretty much, I started closing 1 day a week in the winter
Oh, yeah, well, that's
so that I can go to
understandable.
Florida and give time off to my employees.
Yeah, and enjoy
You
the
need 1
sun.
day a week.
Enjoy the sun, right? Doc, it's been delightful having you here today. I could talk to you forever. You have so many fascinating things here. You have fascinating stories. You've visited 90 countries.
91.
And 91 countries, excuse me. And you've even had a gun. And you've ridden a horse. My God, this could go on forever. I want to thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. And for those who are listening, your store is on West Queen West, and the number?
726 Queen Street West,
726.
about 3 blocks west of Bathurst, in the heart of West Queen
Queen
West.
West. And his website, Doc's website, is docsmotorcyclegear.ca. And don't forget the
I
West
think it's
Queen West.
.com.
Well,
Or try
it's
Doc at docsleathers.com. Or Doc at docsmotorcyclegear.com. But you know
We're all
what?
mixed up here.
I might be wrong. I never
You might be
email
right.
myself. I don't.
Listen, if anybody goes online and they put in Doc's Motorcycle,
Yeah.
they'll get you. So
Yeah.
no problem.
All right.
And the VIA at the West Queen West is westqueenwest.ca. Remember, wherever you get your podcast, to tune in to the West Queen West podcast, the gateway to coolness and creativity. And Doc, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure today.
My pleasure. Okay.
Thank you all for watching today. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to many more of these podcasts, and they will be very interesting, I can assure you.